start kind of an overview. What are your thoughts of this year's Indiana team? Obviously, Archie's third, hasn't made the tournament the first 2 years. Just kind of what's your read on what this year's Hoosiers look like?
This is a young team that I think is starting to get the legs defensively first because anytime, as I particularly watched him when he was at Dayton, you know the coach is going to have a team who gets after you defensively. With all the wing scores, guard scores, including Devontae Green, you knew they were going to be able to score the basketball. The question is, would they be able to score on the other? Would they be able to defend on the other side? And I know they're coming off a bad loss to Wisconsin, but Wisconsin's they're a difficult team to play at Wisconsin. I think the Florida State game was a true measure of how good this team or the potential of this team, because Florida State's a harassing team. Leonard Hamilton played 10 or 11 guys, and what they try to do is, with that depth, try to wear you down over time. And I actually thought that was a bad matchup for Florida State because of the guard play that Indiana has. I mean, so many guys that can put the basketball on the floor, including Armand Franklin, Al Durham. And so I think the ceiling is huge for this team. I think what it is early on when I was watching them defensively, I thought at times a little bit even soft on ball screens. Guards weren't fighting over. They were kind of what we call melting or dying on screens. All of a sudden, even the younger guys like an Armand Franklin are fighting over screens. The bigs are in proper position to keep the guy from turning the corner. So those are really positive signs for a team that I don't really think that they're scoring the basketball at the level that they're capable of, and I think we're going to see more from those guys, as we get to January and February.
Obviously, they've played the last few games without Rob Finney. You mentioned the offense kind of struggling. How big of a piece do you think he's going to be when he can get back here?
Huge, because as we talk about the defensive end, he's able to pick guys up just as they come across half court, and all of a sudden, everyone loves in short clock situations particularly, they like to run their big up and do those run out ball screens in the middle of the floor. Well, when you have a guard like that who can pick you up coming right over half court, now that point of attack is so much further out on the floor, it allows the big to lay back, the guard to fight over, and I think he's just going to help the defense even more. Even though Rob Finney is terrific coming off ball screens and finding guys, a pass-first guard who I got to see a lot in high school.
You mentioned their wings and their length, basically. What are they doing well defensively right now? What are they not doing? What do they have to figure out about just what it's like to operate in that pack?
Well, and that's what I was mentioning, is they're improving greatly. First of all, again, everyone's running some type of side ball screen. Unfortunately, a lot of the NBA's influence. Side ball screens, high ball screens. So you have to have two things. You have to have a guard that's, first of all, big, that's willing to communicate and say, hey, left, right, so the guard knows that it's coming. Secondly, you have to have a guard who, once he hits it, continues to fight over, and once he's back in position, then the guard can release. And from what I've seen with Indiana on film the last couple of games, the guards are doing it well, but most importantly, the bigs are communicating it very well. So again, that's a very positive sign for the defense for Indiana.
What's stood out to you about Trace Jackson?
I love his hands, man. Right. He's got really soft hands and has a real good awareness of where he is in the low post. I watched him shoot it from the perimeter a little bit. Obviously, shot from the perimeter needs some work. But again, when a certain lineup is out there and you're playing four guards around one big, he's the perfect guy because he's so mobile, and he's a guy that can set those middle ball screens and dive to the rim. He has great hands around the rim. I've been really impressed with his footwork as well.
Kind of a bigger picture question, but obviously being a guy kind of from Indiana, you've spent enough time there to know about the Hoosier basketball tradition. Why do you think it is that Indiana maybe hasn't quite gotten back to the peak that they had from the late 80s, early 90s, back when Coach Knight was there? And what's the process like of trying to maybe get back there after so many years out of the spotlight?
Well, it's hard because when you have a legend like that, all of a sudden our mindset as fans is, Bobby Knight he was great over his tenure. It's really tough for the new coach coming in because we have a tendency to compare them to the great one before, and in this case, Bobby Knight. And so I felt like the fans were a little bit too hard on the guys in between. And I was just hoping that this time around that they would actually give him a chance to coach the team, give him a chance to recruit. And I think right away he established himself, was able to get Demezy Anderson, a top 100 player out of the state of Indiana, to stay home. Rob Finney to stay home. Armand Franklin, Romeo. So now all of a sudden you're starting to see him do what Coach Knight did, was to be able to keep the elite level talent in Indiana at Indiana. And so that's a really positive sign. I just hope that everyone's patient with him to allow him to build it, because he's an excellent coach, and I think we saw that while he was at Dayton.
Looking at just how the Big Ten is playing out this year, do you think they're the best conference in college basketball? And If not, or if so, what stands out about the depth of that conference?
I think they're the deepest, and we knew Michigan State would. I know they're struggling right now, but we knew Michigan State would be good. I thought Michigan would. I had Michigan actually in my top 15. Did I think they were top 10 good? No, but I mean, with the three veterans that they had coming back, I knew Juwan Howard had some good pieces to work around coming back. Ohio State, I have them in my preseason Final Four, but now all of a sudden you're getting teams like Penn State that I think was off everyone's radar, that I think is an NCAA tournament team. Contrast that to a league that's considered the best league year in and year out, to the ACC. The bottom 5 teams in the ACC are really poor. The middle of the ACC, because of Notre Dame not being good this year, really hurts the ACC as well. So you look at the Big 12; they're in a rebuilding year. There's no question that the Big 10 is the best and deepest league in the country right now.